You're quite welcome. This time, things are different. We have reached the unwritten pages of the story. You might say that we stand at the crossroads of fate. Now then, allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is...
Where are they going? They mentioned a mage and... a name?
So, Mr. Varka, are you acquainted with this Nicole? Or should I call her Mage N?
Not really. We've never met, though she has come up in conversation. From what I've gathered, Alice kinda took Nicole under her wing. Taught her how to speak in a more ladylike fashion.
Huh. Hard to imagine Alice as a...
Yeah. Alice is a larger-than-life personality, I'll give you that. If I remember correctly, being an interesting person is actually one of her main entry requirements.
Hey! Don't go around making promises on Alice's behalf!
I wouldn't dare. I'm just trying to paint a picture of the Hexen Circle for you.
Okay, sure. Anyway, since none of us have ever met Nicole, how are we supposed to find her? We can't just go up to every woman in sight and ask, "Hey, are you Nicole?"
Maybe something she's wearing will give it away?
Wait a minute. Alice never said Nicole was from...
Oh, true.
That would be... this young lady?
Hey there! Sorry to disturb you, but...
Varka, Knight of Boreas of the Knights of...
If we got the wrong person... Well, this is all...
When I shook my head, I meant... No, Alice hasn't mentioned you before.
Huh? Where is this voice coming from?
My apologies. For certain reasons, I am unable to speak. This is the... It might take some getting used to, but I hope you can understand.
Hey, it's fine. I'm more shocked by the fact that Alice never...
As for you two, we have crossed paths twice before, but it is...
It's...
No, stop! Alice! I can't believe it! I had a whole speech prepared. I'd agonized over every single... I'm so sorry about that. Alice took the liberty of devising some bespoke self-introduction but I could have sworn I deleted all of the triggering conditions for it. How did it bypass everything?
This is a very different side of Nicole than what we're used to. Is she not used to face-to-face? Don't worry about it. We've seen that introduction met.
Please go on, Miss Nicole. We'd love to hear what you have to
Huh? Are they talking to this lady?
Will you all promise to forget that horrendously
Sorry? Embarrassing?
Yes, my name is Nicole, and I am one of a very few angels who have retained both their preferred form and their power. The Traveler and Paimon should be no strangers to this concept. There is another of our kind in Natlan.
All right! Paimon remembers her!
Yes. Well, I have retained more of my power than she. No. We'll be here all day if I get into the specifics. Moving on.
That's right. Is that...
Yes, I do know a way. It began with the Hyperboreans, who lived after the War of Funerary Flame. Or maybe not. It shouldn't be an issue. I'll fill in the gaps for you when we have more time. Anyway, after that war ended, the three moons retreated to beyond the false sky. The Hyperboreans were humans I once aided. They accepted the civilization and creations bestowed upon them by the angels. But despite accepting many blessings of the angels, many among them still held on to their faith in the moons. even after the War of Funerary Flame. They sought to contact the moon goddesses beyond the sky and receive their...
But all three had passed away by that point.
This mage has a unique method of communicating. Is she talking about the moons?
Yes, but they did not know. And so, still they prayed for the moon goddess's mercy. After building titanic structures that consumed vast amounts of kuvaki, at last they glimpsed the moons but of course, they were gravely disappointed. For it was then that they realized,
Oh, that's...
it is. Humanity was in a very sorry state at that time. The angels who had once aided them were gone, and the War of Funerary Flames had...
Just a second, I gotta ask. How relevant is all this history to the task at hand?
Well, I mean, it's... It's been a while since I've had the chance to speak inside someone's head. As soon as I got started, I lost control and the words just what I'm trying to say is... Right, yes, that's it. The relevant part is the ritual created. The fact that they bypassed the false sky and saw the true moons implies that they successfully built a connection, which means, with enough kuvaki and a sufficiently stable connection, it should be...
Okay, so they built some...
Oh, yes.
Is something wrong?
I just didn't expect you to summarize it so well. It turns out I could have said all that in one word, if only I'd managed to think of it.
No, please, it's fine. This is invaluable knowledge.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, I suppose I could backtrack and ask...
Whoa, time out. Let's summarize. The Hyperboreans were the last ones to use this method, right? So we somehow need to find whatever structure they built. Luckily, we have the moon marrow of both the eternal and iridescent moons, so we're all...
Yes. Although, I expect the structure is long gone by now. That said, what if we could take advantage of the phantoms to travel back? Well, travel back isn't quite accurate. It's more like we'd be creating a handshake between... We wouldn't even have to pick a time when it still existed. It could just be a time when it still appeared in phantom form via projection, or we could project our own phantoms, fold them together at... You look lost.
Yeah, things got a little, technical there.
All right. Let me think about how to put this more... Over the next few days, I'll search for phantoms that we can use. By completing certain rituals, specific individuals will be able to enter the phantom and make it to the Hyperbore. If everything checks out, and it looks feasible, we'll just need to wait for Moon Prayer Night, and we can send the Moon Goddess back home.
I think so. For now, we'll just wait to hear from you.
Yes. Basically...
Great. Counting on you. In the meantime...
My name?
Excuse me, Miss...
Go on, Miss Nicole.
This conversation was a little all over the place. I didn't catch your name.
I am Lauma of the...
Ah, I did wonder. I noted if you'd be interested, I'd love to visit you. Also, if you were serious about making a record, it would be too risky to simply write down the raw details as is. I would suggest... Anyway, we can cross that bridge when we come to it. So, see you later then?
See?
She seems friendly. It's just...
It's so nice to find someone who's actually willing to listen. I've been dying for a chance to finally go through all this systematic...
Now Paimon gets why Alice told us to mind our heads.
What did I tell you? Now then, the next order of business is...
Maybe the rest of what Nicole has to say might...
Once I've heard her out, I'll summarize the same. I'm also inclined to review our other documents. Yes, our faith was first established by our Hyperborean, but many of the more factually accurate records are from after Kutar's birth.
Sounds like we're gonna follow Colombina's journey through Devat, huh? In that case, we'll start by heading to the Frost Moon
Sounds like a plan. take this with you. I'll see about getting in touch with the Fatui. It'll probably just be
Thank you, Mr. Varka.
Don't mention it. Honestly, I'm more comfortable dealing with the Fatui than prying into the details of a young lady's childhood. Catch you later.
I should follow them.
A while ago, I took the time to organize all documents in our possession that pertain to Kutar.
Hmm?
You're saying there's unreal?
Yes, most of the information we have was transmitted through an oral tradition. Inevitably, some of her stories were mythologized and There's no sense seeking answers in history unless we can ensure.
Makes sense. Almost all these records refer to Kutar instead of Colombina. Although
What we can gather from these records is that the Frost Moon Scions worshipped her as a god. I cannot fault them for their earnest faith, but for all their devotion, I imagine that none of it resonated with Colombina. It wouldn't surprise me if, even back then, she had already begun to reject.
Lama speaks the truth. When I heard them call upon Kutar with hope and expectation in their voices.
Well, that's a bit complicated. And how realistic their portrayal amongst the Frost Moon Scions of today, only I know of her existence, and I alone have spoken to her face to. That being said, I have sensed some changes in her.
Changes?
seems like this is getting us nowhere.
Sure. Give me.
Exerting but a fraction of her divine might, Kutar sheared a great mass from the snow-capped mountain and cast. Yeah, right. That doesn't even begin to. The 3 moons are not but lies through and through. Only one moon has ever shone for us, and Kutar is her name.
The vast majority of ancient texts are filled with fanciful tales like these. I trust you understand. Kutar did not speak, merely gazing into the distance in silence. Clearly, whoever wrote this text never even met Kutar. Otherwise, they'd know that her eye.
What about you, traveler? What are you reading? Come on, let Paimon see. The child wished to build a wooden nest with which to shield a fledgling bird from the cold. But being so young and lacking in strength, Kutar was passing by. Upon seeing the child, she summoned forth the Kuhenki.
I remember.
Not knowing the meaning of Kutar's divine intervention, the child dared not to respond. The moon chanter declared the event a miracle and took the nest as a relic, placing it on high for all to see. The child was named as one favorite, yet no further miracles were bestowed, and this matter was forgotten. Any thoughts after reading that? Yeah, Colombina probably just wanted to join the...
I'd originally considered this a fabrication, because Kutar did not perform any similar action, but now that I think about it...
She didn't know how other people would interpret her actions. She was probably worried about making...
Yes.
Oh...
And now, I can make it.
Still no name. It's a bit of a shame. But we did learn some interesting stories. That's gotta count for something. Varka said he was gonna set up a meeting with Arлекино and Sandroне, right? Let's go back to Nasha Town and see how he's doing.
Ad Astra ab...
stirring in Albedo, too. Yeah, this is pretty much the same place we bumped into each other last time.
I convinced them to stick around a little longer. We were all waiting on people, so I figured having a little company would help pass the time.
Ah, so you've been waiting for us? Does this mean that you've already arranged things with the Fatui?
Sure does. Now you're back, we can go meet up with them together. How'd your investigation of the Frost Moon Enclave go?
Well, we didn't find out Colombina's true name. But apart from that, it went pretty well.
Aha, just as well that I didn't tag along then. I'm sure our moon goddess wouldn't want every man and his dog knowing all about her private life. Still, desperate times, desperate measures, I guess. Someone had to do it.
So, Varka was waiting on us, but what about you two? Are you waiting for Alice?
Oh, no. We already met with her.
We discussed that experiment I mentioned to you last time. Oh, and she also handed me this communication device.
That's right. I understand she informed you about the relationship between the phantom phenomena. She said that she'll contact me through this device with more information.
Ah, I see. Following instructions and making observations. Pretty common research method. Takes me right back to Albedo's lab.
Wait, then who exactly are you meeting?
Someone you know. Albedo's met him too. But I don't think Miss Lauma or the Grand Master have been introduced.
Introductions are overrated, especially in cases like this.
It's you!
So, it's not like the Academia has prohibitions against going abroad. Also, I applied for leave.
I've been writing to Hat Guy since obtaining a human form. I've already brought him up to speed on everything that's been going on in Nodcry.
Hat guy? Turns out, I actually have heard that name before.
Oh? Then why did you react the same way I did?
I only knew the name, not the fella. But since we're all here, let's do some introductions for what it's worth. I'm Vark.
Lauma, Moon Chanter of the...
And I'm a Drioche from the Vahumana Darshan of the Sumeru Academia. Haka, good to see you again, Mr. Guy. I believe we last saw each other on the boat ride here. Mind you, the only reason I came here is because there's someone I want to look into.
Who's that?
The Doctor, also known as Дотторе.
From the tone of your voice, it sounds like there's bad blood between...
I was reviewing our archives and noticed that a lot of information about him was missing. Left a bad taste in my mouth. Дотторе, or Zondique, as he was then known, once studied at the Academia.
So the Harbinger's numbered...
Last we heard, he was planning something. We actually heard that a few times before, even coming to Nodcry. But... Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in!
He only appears when something interests him. But the fact he did something here at all is worth noting.
Why does it sound less like a file you're writing and more like a criminal record? Anyway, we were just about to meet two of the other Harbingers. Want to come along? You might learn a thing or two about him there.
Sure.
Even though they're Harbingers, well, they're old acquaintances of ours, so, you know, when you talk to them...
The Frost Moon Scion's relations with the Fatui
In that case, we'll continue assisting Miss Alice with her experiments.
Good stuff. Everyone's having a fruitful time. All right, we better get going. I'll lead the way.
Well, yeah, that's obviously part of it. But I'm not the only one who has a score. Neither you, nor Lesser Lord Kusanali, nor I want to see him meddling with things again. What's the hurry? Don't worry. Pigeons always know which way home is.
You made it. Who is this?
A scholar from Sumeru. They call him Hat Guy.
Wait, this is the academia representative you wrote about? He doesn't exactly look the part.
I believe this will prove my identity. You'll notice it bears the seal of the Sanctuary of Surasthana.
Well, what do you know? So it does.
It's fine. I expected as much.
What?
So as I mentioned in my letter, but this matter remains top secret. Apart from those assisting in the investigation, the fewer people who know, the better.
If anyone asks, I'm here in Nodcry to pursue my personal academic interests.
Gotta say, Barca, you did pretty well to keep all this under wraps for so long. Sounds like you got in touch with the academia about this way back.
You flatter me.
Where do I even start? Remember that time we fought Rerir at Star Sand Shoal? He sure let me have it then, didn't he? He could not care less about us if he tried, but hey! The feeling's mutual.
Does Дотторе really strike you as the sort who values his relationships with his colleagues?
Fair point. Definitely not.
Which is why I always keep my guard up whenever he starts making suspicious moves. To that extent, our motivations align. On top of which, I consider you trustworthy people. Now, back on topic. In the wake of the Reikir of Solnari episode, Sandrone and I grew suspicious about Dottore's complete inaction during the entire affair. So we tried to find out what he'd been up to, but unfortunately to no avail.
He never lets anyone in on his plans. The more he cares about something,
Indeed. Perhaps he believes that by keeping a low profile, he can avoid trouble. But that trick isn't going to work on his colleagues.
Yeah, I mean, he's been researching the ancient moon's remnants. And he's been trying to get his paws on the moon marrows.
With this in mind, I returned to Snezhnaya and relayed my thoughts to Her Majesty the Carica, entreating her to have him recalled.
That's pretty direct. Did the Carica agree?
Yes. I made it abundantly clear that the Fatui's business in Nodcry is almost concluded. Accordingly, Дотторе has returned at her orders. I imagine he is continuing with experiments, which...
Common sense might mean nothing to him, but he's not stupid. He knows that no good can come from opposing the Carica. Smarts alone won't get him all the way. He needs the Rooster's resources and Regrator's Mora, both of which the Carica can strip from him by waggling a finger.
But doesn't he have a track record of publicly following orders while going against them in private? He probably has it down to a fine art by now.
Wouldn't put it past him. We worked together on a research project once. Only briefly, but it was enough to show me that we're fundamentally different. He has no interest in doing things methodically, stage by stage. His thoughts jump all over the place, and the moment his curiosity is satisfied, the only similarity we share is that once we set our minds on doing something, we will see it done, whatever it takes.
Oh, we definitely saw some of that in your battle with Rerir. You got so competitive.
Ugh, do not remind me.
Then I believe we all concur. Дотторе will not simply give up.
Fantastic. Now this is turning into a whole day of unpleasant memories. Ugh.
Are you talking about the moon marrow stuff?
He also strikes me as the kind of person to disregard experimental regulations, ruin all the equipment, and go way over budget. Then leave the first person he can find.
Exactly. This one time, he was running some high-temperature experiment and the substance exploded. But does he care? No. He orders his subordinates to open the device so he can observe the results. That gas was poisonous.
If I hadn't been there, who knows how many people might have died. And after all that, he left, while I was still cleaning up after his mess. What a waste of time, he said. Waste of time? The nerve! He wasted my time!
You've been bottling that up for a while, huh?
Hat guy, I must say, you seem awfully familiar with internal Fatui affairs. Especially when it comes to Дотторе.
Thank you, Lady Harbingers, for providing such valuable information. I have no other questions.
Wait, what? You're just gonna leave?
You're welcome to join if you want.
Ugh. Just when Paimon thought he'd finally mellowed out.
He makes quite the impression.
I'll say. I've met tons of headstrong people, but not many of them would join me in bad-mouthing Дотторе. Anyway, back to the main agenda. Barca, you said that Colombina has
Yeah. We're working on building a connection between her and this world.
I've actually asked her that question before, but she said she didn't know. Considering our relationship, I doubt she was lying to me.
As far as I recall, she was never dispatched by Her Majesty to claim a gnosis or any. That Carica's plans had long contained a place specifically for her.
I always thought that was weird. What could she do that the— Knowing what we do now is probably some— More than likely, when she first arrived, Colombina would often go to Her Majesty and ask when she could start the task assigned to her. But Her Majesty always gave the same reply. The time has not yet come. So the Carica has summoned a beautiful blind maiden to be a harbinger, giving her the third seat by virtue only of her enchanting voice. It was a dumb and stupid rumor, but—
And what happened after that?
I imagine she stopped caring. She no longer seemed to care why she had been recruited. And Her Majesty never gave her any missions. For my part, I was busy. So busy, in fact, that watching someone be that idle had me fuming that she had long been used to a life of other people claiming she was needed.
I just felt that having a place to... And so I waited quietly for the day...
And on the other end of that spectrum, you had me. Someone once told me that I had the lousiest work and the toughest luck. I forget who said it, but those words have always stuck with me.
But you've done your job exceptionally well all this time. Because at home...
What is it? Something come to mind?
That makes sense. Nothing screams you are needed like your name.
Well, good luck with it. But if you ask me, Colombina, I'm just so used to it now. After all the arguments we've had, I can't be bothered trying—
Nor I.
Sandrone. Arлекino.
Huh! It's a Sealy!
Ladies, I thank you for your hospitality. If the chance ever comes up,
I'm sure it will.
You can make your own way out. Heck, you've been here enough times, you probably know your way around better than I do. Okay, time to do what adventurers do best.